Welcome to the video on using a Mod 10 LPM counter and a 7447 7-segment display driver to drive a 7-segment display. We've already created the Mod 10 counter. The next item that we need is we need to insert the symbol for the 7447. So we'll just type that in under the name and say OK, and then we'll position it here. Alright, the next thing that we need is we need to have some NOT gates in order to invert the outputs of the 7447 to drive the LEDs. So we'll need 7 of those. So let's just put those out here. Alright, there's 3 of them, 4 of them, 5 of them, 6 of them, and then the last one. All right, we'll connect these up from the output of here. We will go up and connect each one of these. We'll take the A output, connect it to the top one. Then we'll come over, trying not to overlap lines, and we'll connect that B to the second one. And we'll just do this one this way. All right, got that one. All right, then we'll come down and get the next one. Try to make it as neat as possible. As long as we don't overlap the lines, we should be in pretty good shape. Okay, got a couple more. All right, and we got this one. All right, that connects up. Oops, I made a small error there. See the little X? We'll have to get rid of that. I can just draw a box around that, delete that, then reconnect this line up, and that way I don't have an error there. All right, there's the connections. I'll add the output pins in a minute. But the next thing that we want to do is connect the output of the Mod 10 LPM counter to the inputs to the 7447. Well, I'll need a bus to do that. This dark line here indicates a bus. So I'll need to come over and select my orthogonal bus tool and then simply draw that bus. And I'm going to do it like so. I'll stop it kind of even with D here. Okay? Now I need to connect the individual lines from the 7447 ABCD inputs over to that bus. So I went back and chose my orthogonal node tool, and then I'm just going to connect my lines over like so. All right. What that does is the bus contains all the signals, and then I separate the signals out individually here. All right, so now that takes care of that. I also have to name these 2 items so Quartus will know what they are. So I come in and I click on that bus and I choose properties, and I name it the same name that was given to it by the LPM counter, which was Q bracket 3.0 close bracket. So this is Q, and then this is the bracket, not the parentheses, 3.0 close bracket. All right, so I've just named the bus. I also have to do that individually here with each one of the lines coming out of the bus so that Quartus knows which lines to pick from the bus. So here's Q bracket 0 close bracket. All right, that takes care of that. That first one, I need to repeat that here. All right, choose properties again. Q bracket 1 close bracket. Okay, I'm emphasizing the bracket because I don't want you to pick up the parentheses. All right, I need to do the same thing here. So this is Q bracket 2 close bracket. All right, and then finally, we'll get the last one down here. Q bracket 3 close bracket. All right, okay, that should take care of labeling the bus and separating the bus out individually. All right, I need to go back to my orthogonal node tool, and I will need a VCC in order to connect up these control inputs, these enable inputs of the 7447. So I'm going to connect this one up to VCC to disable it. I'm going to connect that one and the light test into there also. Okay, so that pretty well takes care of the wiring here. Now I need to add my inputs and my outputs. So let me come back here and let me do an input. All right, and we will drive this clock with a push button. Now I need to set up my outputs over here. So let's do this again, but let's choose output. Okay, and then I'll put one there. I should have just did multiple paste. It would have made it easier. There's the second one. Trying to line them up as I go here, and I'll just connect these up like so. All right, trying to keep them reasonably straight. Okay, and the last one here. Okay, now let's wire those up. We'll go here, here. Third one will connect here. I'll do this one, and here, a couple more, and then finally this one. All right, that's my wiring. Now I need to name these real quick, so let me left double click here and just call this CLK. I'll call that my clock for my input. And now I'm going to call these output pins the same thing as the output here, or almost the same. I'll call this A. Okay. I will call this B. This will be C, D, E, F, and finally G. Okay, there are the connections and the labeling used to create a Mod 10 and 7447 driving a 7-segment display.